whatever like reasons because I want to feel like, oh yeah, like morally everybody's agreeing with me, but more so just because like I believe so strongly that the future has to be filtered through the people that I don't want to compromise on that. And so if that means we go into war with these heads of state, I feel like the power is starting to shift. I mean, if these social media sites were actually equitable and not like in just another layer of indoctrination shits, then we would actually have the power at this point. But they
Yeah,
still are able to throttle stuff. They're still able to promote stuff. They're still the algorithms still determine what you see. So it's not perfect. But the more we yell, the less like it becomes more and more apparent that this is something that we need to fix. So I don't know, bro. Like the solution isn't clear. And that's the problem because everybody knows there's a problem, but it's hard to find a solution. So it's a lot of energy that's not really being directed.
in the right aspect.
Right. And it's young people too. And the leaders are gone, like whether it's political leaders, religious leaders, like, I get it for the church folks. Yeah, go ahead and stay in y'all building and do your fast, whatever. But like, y'all got to be out there too, man. Like, it's got to be folks that are representing Christ that are on the front lines because this is a culture war. And if we just give it up to the thugs and the folks that are on the streets and don't have any type of leadership, it's the same thing with like the civil rights movement in the States, where you just kill off a few of the top people. You kill off your Malcolm X, your MLK, you kill off you just kill all the folks that were really had a voice and some revolutionary sentiments. And then you just have a bunch of angry kids who don't really know how to direct themselves. And so I don't want to be in that position again where you just have a bunch of energy, but it's misdirected. And I think that's what they're trying to trap us with again. They're trying to just get us confused. We all know we're mad, but if we're confused and mad, then it's not like we can direct our focus at a single enemy. We out here
Mm.
just, it's like we're just spraying in all directions. Most of the time, we're even hurting ourselves. We go loot, we go whatever. That's not helping the situation. But it's hard when there's no clear solutions to tell people to stop. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna tell them to go home? No, nigga. Like, we out here. Like, we really out here. So I respect
Yeah.
that, but at the same time, we got to start. What are the next steps? What are the next steps? Like, we gotta start consolidating power for ourselves because they're not finna give it to us. So we gotta start, whether it's buying land. And I saw some shit with like Rick Ross dropped like $1 million today to buy like 90 something acres of land in Georgia. And I'm like, that's what's up. Like, we need more folks like that. We can't just have
Yeah.
Kanye out here doing this shit. And so like, it's got to become normal for powerful black men, especially, to start setting up these places where like this is ours now. Like this is oh, it's fucking like I'm on, bro, because I feel like
Yeah.
Kanye is one of the few folks who is so powerful, but he's also been so low that he kind of sees the whole spectrum. Like, he understands how this shit works for real, and he's not ignorant to the plight of a lot of the people who are under the thumb of big tech and governments all over the world. Like, he's not folding either. So that's why I put my weight behind him, because I'm like, yo, first of all, he's
Yeah.
a black man. Second of all, he got a bad wife. And then third of all, he out here buying land. And then he also, this man is talking about mental health and he's saying he's a superhero. Like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm on, bro. Like, let's put this
Yeah.
motherfucker out, because then my mental illness becomes a superpower too. Like, when people start understanding, like, yo, he just sees the world in a different way. And that's an anomaly. He's an anomaly. We should use that because that's a super different perspective,
Mm.
instead of just shunning it like, oh, that's a super different perspective. Put that man in the madhouse. Like, once we make that paradigm shift to where these people have something to offer us, like they have a different, unique perspective, then we could start collaborating for real. And then once we start collaborating, it's really time up. Like, I think time's up already. I've already seen some, like, the way they shadow banning folks out here and canceling folks out here. It's like they getting desperate, to me at least. I think that it's something's about to go down, because
Mm.
it's all like a week, like what, 2 weeks before the American election. I think they're about to do a debate tonight
Okay.
too. So it's getting to that point where they're trying to make sure people are thinking how they want them to think. Them algorithms are in overdrive, like putting shit in front of people that this is how we're going to reinforce, you got to vote for this dude, or you got to do this or whatever. And people are still kind of ignorant to it. I think we're starting to wake up to it, like shit like The Social Dilemma, like that little thing on Netflix, and shit like
I need
just
to
people
watch
just
that.
in general. Yeah, it's like it's like the first half, you'll kind of get it. The second half is a little bit like they're starting to talk about the fake news stuff, and it gets a little partisan, and it kind of has an edge to it. But the facts are still facts, and the facts are like the power is with like if you think about it this way, it's a few coders, a few programmers in a city called Silicon Valley, halfway across the world, who are affecting our serotonin, dopamine, everything, our brain chemistry levels through what they code. When I get like a little alert, I get a little hit of serotonin. When somebody likes my shit, I get a, ooh, yeah. It's folks across the world who are determining how our brains are going to be how our brains are wired. And that shit is wild to me. And people don't really realize how much power these people have to affect how everybody's attention is being directed. Like the person who owns or Mark Zuckerberg. That's the other thing too with the Reels thing. I think that they're just trying to get more of that TikTok market share. And then they even integrating it more with Facebook, where the messages are supposed to become integrated. Like they trying to just make this behemoth where like, if you want to come online, you got to do so through us type of shit. And it's just like,
Yeah,
they
it's
kind of have the
getting
power to
crazy.
say it. Yeah, man.
It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy because it's like, I don't know, man. Like, bro, like, I'm just getting more and more like into. It's like I'm getting more and more into like stuff that is just becoming less and less mainstream. For real, because like I'm just getting like, bro, like Toso, this is some serious talks, like, because the way all right. So my mom, all right, there's so many layers to this that I want to like unpack here.
Yeah.
If we don't, if we have the time, and obviously,
Yeah.
but one of the first things is I can't say who because like just for like whatever sake, but someone that I know was having, maybe they're still having them, but they were having like loads of like visions and like loads of dreams basically about the end of the world basically. But they've been having them
Mm,
since, I don't know, like maybe for like 4, 5, 6,
mm,
maybe 8 months, like a lot of time in it.
okay.
So imagine I was staying um with the person like during the time, yeah, like recently, and they went through so much. They went through so many accounts when they were telling me about stuff, yeah, that I obviously like I know like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still becoming very, very unreligious. Like, and I know it sounds really harsh to say, but it's in terms of I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, bro, like I'm just trying to read some Asian books, bro, like because
I feel
everything
you,
else
bro.
just seems a bit too weird for me now. It's just like, especially because I know what blackness is, I know what slavery is, obviously. I know what part of the state of we are right now as
Yeah.
melanated people. And then just other things that I'm starting to like kind of look at the bigger picture and the pattern. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Seems like everything you might have been saying to us
It's
is,
bull.
yeah, it's bull. So on that note, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just flick that away and not focus on that. And I'm gonna go right back to my people and be like, yeah, wait. Is it, what language is it spoken? Is it spoken in a language that I can't understand, but I know? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna. So on that,
Man, it's the ancient text we need to get back into as a people. I think
bro,
the Bible has to be a part of that for me personally. I seen the way the slavers did the NIV, the Telegram, and tried to get the message, couldn't tell like killing telephone. And it's like,
so imagine she's had all these like visions, yeah, and
oh yeah,
the main theme that she was saying is like, I kept having visions about the whole world crying out in pain and crying out that they want
mm,
one central person. They want like one central like idol, but like thing to like look at upon and be like, yeah, that is the
yeah,
answer. But
it's the
she wasn't
Antichrist.
saying it like it was like a god thing, innit? She was like saying it like as in like this whole false image thing, yeah.
Yeah,
And bro, like, all right, so Cov, however you feel, I personally don't really give a shit about Cov. I think it's bullshit.
yeah,
Anyway,
dog. We on the
Cov
same wave.
lockdown. What's going on in Africa? And when I say Africa, I mean like Nigeria, Congo, uh,
Yeah, Sudan, South Africa, everywhere, dog.
Sudan. There's bare stuff going on, and
Yeah.
then somewhere else the stuff as well. Oh yeah, and then there's the fact of like some other stuff that I've been researching on as well. Yeah,
Even in
but
the
like all
States, they got floods on the East Coast, fires on the West Coast. It's crazy out there, man. I got
yeah,
friends in
okay,
California that's talking about, yeah, it's smoky out here, yo. It's crazy. Like
that's
maybe
crazy.
Jesus might be coming back real soon. Who knows, bro? Like it's crazy out here, dog.
He is love, so then therefore he can't kind of really be angry. Like it sounds a bit rude, but he can't really be angry with us because as much as there are translations that say that he's a jealous God and like he'll be upset if we worship anything else. Yeah, I think I was saying this to my auntie at one point because we haven't spoken in a while, but like basically she was like kind of going ham at me about like Jesus Christ, and she was like really like she was basically trying to tell me that oh Ayo, you need to rededicate your life to Jesus Christ, all this type of things, and I was just like mate, I always have a belief of like yo, if you've dedicated your life once, you can't go off track. Like you can go off track, but the whole principle of the way salvation is supposed to work is, and it sounds a bit ham, but it's basically just like yeah, fair enough, you can do stuff and you can do things that aren't of God and you can like be horrible and all these type of things, but hypothetically speaking, if salvation is as effective as it's supposed to be, it doesn't really matter of like what you do. Once you've said Jesus Christ is my savior, once you've
You're
said those things,
justified.
you're, not even you're justified because that's a horrible way to say it. Because if you're saying
No,
like
that's what it
someone's
says in the
listening,
Bible. It says
yeah, yeah,
you've been like it's like there's levels to it. So it's like
yeah,
salvation is there's justification, then there's sanctification, and then there's glorification. So justification is that first step when you just say, Lord, help me out. I don't know anything. And so he's like, all right, saved you. Now you're good. You're good permanently. That's what you're saying. Like essentially, you are good forever because you have made that claim. You said, I believe you. I'm good. I don't need, but then what's supposed to happen next is this process of continually becoming more and more like him through the Holy Spirit. And that's what
yeah, yeah.
sanctification is. And then glorification is like when you're in heaven and you just a spirit floating around and shit. You like, oh fuck yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know, bro. I hear what you're saying. But
Yeah,
at the
but
same
no,
like,
no, but what I'm saying is like is I get what my auntie was saying,
yeah,
but the point that I was making is it's like I don't like when it's like it doesn't make sense because it's like for example like if
that
you
God will be
say
angry with us.
yeah it just doesn't make sense because it's like one like one we know we kind of like God is supposed to be omnipotent, he's supposed to be like all seeing, yeah, all knowing, yeah,
Yeah.
and I know I'm gonna sound like an atheist when I say this, but I'm not an atheist, so that's cool, that can go right out the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the point is he can see everything, he knows everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So, despite what humans think about, like, I personally feel like if I'm talking to, I don't even talking to, if I'm worshiping God, yeah, and I'm literally in sanctified mode, and I'm like literally in the purest of minds, yeah,
Yeah.
purest of souls, purest of being, yeah, and I'm at that light level.
Yeah.
If someone else is also at that light level, but they haven't used the word God or Christ to get there, there is no way that they can be in the same position and not be of God. So like that's just as in like because this is like it's
Mm.
not I don't know how to say like obviously I know this is controversial and you don't have to agree with me on this and I'm not looking to be agreed with on this point, but
No,
the
that's
point I'm trying
good. That's part of the conversations.
to make, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the point is that I'm making is this like as we if even with that concept here with that idea, yeah,
Yeah.
so as much as humans want to say, oh, like God is angry with us, yeah, okay, let's say hypothetically speaking, there might be some levels of like aminosity and being like, yo, like why the fuck, like what the hell are you guys doing? Like I've told you to do all these things and you've strayed away from it. There might be an aspect of that, but the idea of love is very forgiving. It's very like, okay, there's no ego attached to it. So once you say anger, the word anger refers to a level of ego, and God, the idea of God can't have ego basically because ego then starts to lead to other things of like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
hear
I
you,
don't
but I'm gonna push back real quick because the way I see it is the way love is not like. I think sometimes we conflate being like a likable dude as being love. Like love to me is so deep that we don't even fully get it. But what real love to me is that you're so enveloped in this place of love that you cannot, like, stuff that is outside of it is harmful to, it's like almost like if you have like you this is one thing I've heard. So it's like you go to a person's house, right? And you say like, "Yo, how you doing? I'm a good person. Let me in." That's kind of like how a lot of people think, like,
Mm.
going to heaven. It's like, I'm a good person. Let me in. But like, if you don't know the person, it's like, well, what are you talking about, bro? So it's kind of like that idea. Like, but if there's somebody who's broken, messed up, whatever, but that's a homie or that's somebody that you know, yeah, sure, come on in, bro. Come on, drink some water. Let's talk. And that's what I think the image of God is sometimes. It's just like, yeah, like there is that level of approval that has to happen, but really he's not angry as much with the action. He's angry with the fact that there's so many people that don't even like accept the fact that he exists. So it's almost like I created all of this for y'all, but y'all gonna deny me? Like, that is not necessarily like a spiteful anger. It's more so, it's like sometimes when I get into arguments on social media, like, and bullshit like that, the reason that I'm trying to get to that truth is because I love that person. And it seems like it's a little bit weird because you think that love would be like, oh, just accept what they say and don't even worry about it. But for me, if I truly love you, I'm going to be real with you. Like, I
Yeah,
can't say I love you and then be fake with you. So I think that's what it means for God to be angry with us. It's like he loves us so much that he wants us to actually achieve the heights, that he wants us to achieve whatever you want to call it, nirvana, Christ consciousness. He wants us to be there. He wants us to be up there with him, but we keep
yeah,
on wallowing in the mud. And so it's like, it's almost like you're just like annoyed with a kid type of thing. Like, what are y'all doing? And like, eventually, like after like they turn 6, you're like, okay, stop playing in the mud. And then they 7, they still playing in the mud. You're like, dude, stop playing in the mud. And then they 10 years old, like, y'all should be mature by now. Why y'all still playing in the mud? And then you have Jesus, who's maybe like the brother, who's saying like, okay, look, dad, just chill out. He's still learning. Just wait, just wait, just wait. But at the end of the day, eventually he's gonna be like, yo, what do you what do you have to show for it? That's my
mm,
opinion. So yeah, we
yeah,
probably we don't agree on that one, but I feel where you're coming from, because it's like, I get it. To have love, usually our interpretation of it is like, why would you even, there should be no space for anger. But I think it's more so like that righteous anger like Jesus had when he flipped over the shit in the
yeah,
temples, where
yeah.
it's like, yo, this is not how it should be. There's a right and there's a wrong, and this is wrong. So I'm gonna be angry at this, not at the individuals, but at the fact that this is the system that we exist in. Blah blah blah. I don't know. That's something I gotta sit with though. That's an interesting thought,
Because as you said that now, I feel more like I've been in a righteous angry state for the last couple of days, but
bro.
it's a bit fucked because I haven't eaten properly and
Mm.
like I was when I first got here, I was okay, but then after the weeks progressed, I started to get really good. I started to get like, when I say really good, I mean really good at my eating habits. I started to like eat really well, cook everything. I cook everything anyway, but cook everything, drink loads of water. I was drinking like 3 liters of water a day, working out 3 or 4 times, like maybe 4 times a week, maybe five, including doing yoga and all these type of things. And now, to be fair, ever since this end SARS like movement has popped off, everything that I was doing productive has almost become so challenged. So like drawing is
Dog,
a big thing now.
you're not lying.
Writing, do you know what I mean? Like, everything else has become such a big deal, and it's like, yo, like this weight is actually like, even if I don't want to think about it, I won't think about it, but then I will still have it within my
It's
mind
still
of like,
there.
yo,
It's in the
yes,
subconscious. That's part of
yeah,
what it means. Like when you're talking about just the plight of the melanated folk, white people don't understand. It's like we like this weight is all pervasive. It's always with us. Whether it's folks that are getting killed in the States, whether it's folks getting killed in Africa, whether it's people getting exploited in Asia, like it's this complete like this feeling that like, yo, this shit is not right, and we gotta like. There's like a world power that really hates brown folks, it seems, and they don't want us to do anything with our abilities or with our power, right? and it's just this weird thing, like to try to like to talk to somebody who doesn't have that same experience about it. It's tough, but I think that's almost like our role as Black people now is like to get people to understand that like this is a communal thing. Like if we're oppressed, then everybody's oppressed because you're next. Like
Yeah.
we're just the bottom right now because that's we've been enslaved, we've been disenfranchised. They think we're easy marks, whatever. But best believe it's not like gonna end with us. It's not gonna be like, oh, we got them all out, we're done now. Like fucking Hitler was trying to make an Aryan race. If you don't think there's people out here who are really have those visions of creating one race societies, you better wake up, bro. Because motherfuckers out here really hate people. Like it's really real. And so that's part of my whole thing. It's like, yo, I don't know.
And
Like it's
and
craziness.
knowing that, bro, because you're right, and knowing that, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No
it's
go.
just this is a really emotional talk for both of us, so we might be both acting out of pocket at times, like as in like systematically. But it's what another thing that's also like really drilling home as well is like, yeah, like okay, so Hitler was crazy, but he was also funded by the same people that eventually just disbanded him. So knowing how history works, knowing how war works, knowing how the UN works, knowing how the SATO works, knowing how societies work, knowing that yeah, as you said, there are really people who are out here really trying to have this one race society, whatever that means, because there is no such thing as like when you peep, bro, when you peep here, how deep this thing is, it's it's kind of like I feel like the whole world right now is like almost in a state of Cain and Abel
Mhm.
because like Cain obviously represents like Cain represents I'd say the most ignorant like ignorant
Right. No, I see what you're saying. Like Cain is like
person.
that archaic image of the old, like the yeah. And then Abel's like that.
About the West. No, but I wasn't gonna say that. Like
Oh, go.
ignorant person,
Uh-huh.
and then Abel's like the darkest, like darkest melanated person, yeah. And Kane's like, yeah, I wanna kill you, basically, because it seems like no matter what you do, no matter what I do, it seems like everything that I do, you seem to
God
everything I see,
appreciates you more for some reason.
yeah. God appreciates you more. It seems like the universe loves you more, no matter what happens. If you decide to like, we have like 5-year-old, 6-year-old,
You hit
7
something
year
right
old,
there.
yeah, 10-year-old geniuses that are in like probably in every good school, every good university on this earth. There are probably geniuses that are our color that are the youngest geniuses in these places, yeah. And
Yeah.
everything you could think of, I'm sorry to sound like this. I'm sorry to go on a Malcolm X type of vibe, but I need to get this off my chest, yeah.
Don't
Everything you could
apologize.
think of, everything you could think of in terms of art, what like every role in society,
You
there
think
is proof.
entertainment, sports, education, intellect, whatever, bro. We up there.
Agriculture. Yeah,
We even
we
in
are.
that fucking. We even playing hockey now, nigga. Like we out here, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So like we're actually so up there, yeah. But for some reason, there is a race. Not even. I didn't want to blame it all on Caucasian people because even I think like 5% of Caucasian people are actually like this, and the other I just don't get it, and they're very oblivious to it until you have to bring it to their eyes. But
Yeah.
sometimes I just get so tired of like having to show like, yo, look at here.
Just
No, don't look
fucking
at
look,
the side.
dog.
Don't look at don't be like, oh, I've read this already. Yeah, okay, cool. If you clearly haven't taken it in, so one more time, and I'll show you for a different way this time. But
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is Cain and Abel, cool. Cain gets so jealous about Abel being essentially right or so good at what he does, yeah, that he's like
Yeah.
off, dead, cool.
Yeah.
Then ironically, Cain's like, oh crap, what have I done, yeah? All right. Now the idea of the idea of these people who really feel like they want to kill the human race and they want to control the human race, there is no such thing as other races apart from the human race. Like I know it sounds really weird to say, but it's like
No, that's
when you
facts. That's facts. That's an important thing to say too, because people don't understand that.
yeah,
It's one
it's like
race.
there is one race. So once you start going, oh, you know what, I'm gonna, it's like like as you said, it affects everything. It affects everything. Like, if do you think if everyone exists here and if suddenly forget about, I don't know, like 10,000 years of history and they try to erase it completely, do you think the present and the future will be able to progress to a progressive state without them remembering all the mistakes that people had made before them, and not only that, all the lessons that people had learned before them?
That's what
Because it
history
doesn't make
is.
any sense. It doesn't make
Yeah,
any if they want to have like a fully developed like land and they want to say everything's first world, yeah, that's cool, but you can't do that without erase. If you try to erase the third world countries, whatever that means, you're essentially, it's kind of like you're gonna get to the point where you're self imploding, where you're gonna
that's
just
it.
self.
Bro, I literally wrote this today. Like I wrote this in that Make Africa Great Again, right? So I wrote an article, and part of the
Okay.
idea about it was like, yo, first of all, we're all African. We're all African. Oh, you got my bad. Sorry, people.
That's so funny. That's so good.
I just be out here, bro. Nah, I ain't never
So,
started in my life. It's the fucking, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, we're all African. We all came from the plains. Like the origin of the human species was in the plains of West Africa, right? The thing is, right now we have become so, as you said, delineated. We've become so separated that our identities are now in our separation rather than in our union. And because of that, we have this false sense of identity affiliation with that whatever. It's created this friction, this tension that is really hard to rectify unless we get back to understanding that we're all the same in terms of not all the same as in we're all like the same, but we're all the same and that we all are origin of the same. Like we have the same, like our DNA is 99% the same. Like we are all the same. It's just about
yeah,
appreciating those differences and not trying to negate them and not trying to push them down. I really think it's because black people are the most powerful folks on the planet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we're so powerful that that's why. It's because they're scared of us. And I'm not saying it in the terms of like ego or even in the terms of like, as I said, that delineation. I just think that the melanin in our skin gives us powers. I think that like there's books out on this. Like you go read about Henrietta Lacks. They literally tried to take her fucking DNA to make medicine for white people because they're like, oh shit, this motherfucking black lady over here has some crazy genes, yo. Let's go
mm,
exploit that. That's how they see us. Instead of understanding that we're all one and saying, yo, let's all work together to make this better for everybody, they just think that they can take. And it's that mindset, bro. Like even today, it's neo-colonialism. It's not the same as them taking our land. They taking the real estate they taking is in here, bro. They
yeah,
taking our minds, yo. That's
yeah,
part of it. Like I get so sad when I see black. I don't want to. I'll say it. I get sad when I see these black liberals today, bro, because I feel like they've been brainwashed by a system that was made by white people for white people, and they think they're playing along to win at this game that is ultimately going to give them like they. I don't know. To me, it seems like they're still looking at Master like, "Yo, look at me. I can learn. I can do this. I can talk well." Fuck that. Like we different. We the same, but we got unique ability. We different, bro.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
that weird dichotomy. It's that balance, right? Understanding that we're the same, but we're also unique.
yeah,
How do we get there without killing each other? Because I don't know. Like the only reason I can think of as to why they keep on putting down the black man, the black woman, that they keep on subjugating us is because we're so powerful. If we weren't powerful, then they wouldn't even have to worry. That's how I
yeah.
feel.
Big
That's how I
facts,
feel.
man. Because it's like, I think it's easy, and I think the powers that are pushing that forward, I think they know that it would be their battle will be won basically if every person that represented Asian history was subjugated or dead basically.
Yeah.
Because in their minds they're like, okay, so we've done it now, so now we
Yeah.
have the world that we want. But the irony is, one, nothing ever dies.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of things.
Well,
Then
what's
there's
real never dies. And plus, you have pyramids out there in Egypt. You just gonna tear them all down? Like, that's the thing to me. Like, we have so much history of black excellence, and they've tried so hard to erase it over the past past 1,000 years, really.
yeah,
But you look at ancient Carthage, ancient Egypt. You look at all these like East Coast, West Coast. Africa was a bastion. Like Europeans were still in mud huts. And there was fucking universities in Egypt, yo. People don't understand. Like we exported ideas to them.
Yeah.
But because they took it, they weren't trying to help. Like we was legitimately trying to help. Maybe that's just my own ignorance. I still gotta
Oh
research
no,
up
no.
on it. But I feel like we were trying to help. But they
Like
took that information
obviously
and
The
Christopher
Moors
Columbus us.
it does get. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I stop doing that. Sorry.
No, I
Sorry.
like it's just back and forth.
I'm sorry. But bruv, the thing that's like, and I agree with you, yeah, because it's like, bro, like, even the only thing that is a bit weird is like the Moors. The Moors were like, because I love the Moors, but then like recently, I remember someone was like, yeah, but don't forget they also raped and pillaged like villages.
Yeah, I gotta read into that more.
Yeah, bro, I've unfollowed so many people like in the last like days. Like, I'm unfollowing more. Like just like, and some of
Oh
them,
god.
some of it hurts because basically this is really like ignorant of me, and I know, but I'm just emotional and I'm fully in my emotions, and I feel right with my emotions. I basically got to the point that if I haven't seen you shared shared NSARS or anything to do with any African state in the last few days, I don't care about what you have to show. I don't care about anything you ever show me on your story or your Instagram. So I've just unfollowed loads.
Yeah, man. I'd be trying to, bro, because I'd be looking at folks, especially to me, it's the African folks that really piss me off sometimes because I don't want to. That's why I usually just reserve my vitriol online for white people, especially white liberals, because I feel like that this is a clear, like these people fuck with us not. They don't mess with us. But there's some of those black, especially the Africans that have internalized their doctrine. And so they out here mouthpieces for the white folks. They out here talking about like dumb shit. Like, yes, yeah, I get it. There's also problems there, but right now, you African, bro. Like you not gonna talk at all about any of this. Like you, or the worst is when they just put out a little hashtag because they want to just get it done with. But the rest of their shit is like self promo. The rest of their shit is like they not really fucking with the movement. They just had to, get off a tweet.
Yeah.
Them they actually irk me the most, and that's part of why I've been kind of ostracized from a lot of these groups, bro, because I tend to be self-critical, and that usually expands me being critical of my side. I'm more critical of Democrats than Republicans because I identify with a more progressive type of policies. So I'm going to call out the bullshit on my side. I'm going to let them deal with them. Y'all keep on pointing the finger. We got problems on our side. So that's
Yeah.
why that's why I can come off as abrasive sometimes, because I don't believe that we're doing the best we can. And I don't believe that about myself too. Like the reason that I'm able to say things to people and don't get offended is because I've criticized myself so much that whatever you say, I've already probably gone through it. Whatever, bro. Like, go ahead, say what you need to say. Like, I'm already, yep, cool, yeah. But it's like, I don't know. If we don't get to that point where we're able to be aware of our own bullshit, then it's not gonna fix anything, because we just gonna keep going in circles, blaming other people,
Yeah.
avoiding the problem. I'm like, yo, if the last 6 months have told you nothing, then you might just be lost for good, bro. At this
Sure.
point, you might just be lost for good, because everything that has come out, like y'all still so focused on what you want to believe that you don't see the fact that there
Yeah.
is craziness going on. And that's why it's so weird to pretend to be normal with folks. Like it's kind of tiring, but at the same time, I get
Well,
it.
on that note,
Yeah.
I I left my house group chat today. I asked them to. I've told them all that I'm not in the mood to be spoken to. Like I'm gone. Like, and which is a really uncomfortable thing. It was really uncomfortable to do, but in my soul, like I just felt this so strongly, and I was like, I kept like trying to do shit like go on Instagram and forget about it, and and then literally my mind was like, bruv,
Mm,
like come back to this, because it's like, bro, like if okay, this is how like I know humans have been we've been desensitized about things, yeah,
yeah.
because it's on a screen, like we're like this is bad and it's fucked up, and we can feel it. And if you're empathetic, like me or like you, if you watch something and you watch someone get killed, even if it's fake, like I mean, like if you're watching, even if you're watching a film and it
Right.
sounds wrong for your body to feel it, you're gonna feel it in it.
Yeah.
So we watch it, we respond, we react, and we're like, oh shit, that's crazy. And then somewhere down the line, we end up going back to like almost normality, which is a
Yeah.
horrible term to use on this aspect of things. But we end up going to a point where
It
we're like,
is.
okay, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. Let's change that, let's change that, let's change this, let's change that. And then somehow, somewhere, you know, getting back to a point where we're like, oh yeah, I'm just back to my everyday life, and
It
I'm
is what
trying
it
to like,
is.
and I'm trying to catch the bag. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with securing the bag, because at the end of the day, most of the changes we want to create are within the bag, and I completely trust me, I get it. But the issue that I have is if you're like, bro, for example, I really wish I was in London. Like I really wish I was able to go to that part of London, should I say, when I wanted to go to when I wanted to go there. But bro, all the protests that I saw like online, yeah, all the people in the protests were all the same color. So all the people in London who were originally doing this whole BLM thing and saying, you know, like we
Mm.
really, or even not even BLM, all the people that are doing BLM across the whole freaking continent, yeah, in the UK, yeah, all the people that I saw in London and the protests were all the same color, like the same color. Like if you can go and you can go, like there's a page called NSARS, and you can see it. The congregation is not one color, yeah, and you're like, so the thing is, it's kind of
Were
like,
they white or were they black?
oh, they're all like melanated, they're all dark
Okay.
skinned, all of
Okay.
them Nigerians, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them weren't
Okay.
even Nigerian, they might have been like Ghanaians there, because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, but they were all like at least African or let's say Jamaican,
Like
which is
who else
melanated.
is it? Who's just in the struggle with us type of thing?
Yeah. So it was like, okay, so all the people that had been sharing BLM before, and all these type of people, even, do you know, another thing that upsets me as well is like, I'm sorry, maybe it just sounds a bit harsh, but even vegans have pissed me off, because it's like all my vegan friends, yeah, that are like, oh yeah, like we care
Yo,
about the
you
world.
about to hit some. You about to anger some folks. I'm 100% here for it though. Go crazy because
Yeah, because it's
I think I know where you're going. Go ahead.
like all my vegan friends who are like, yo, I care about animals and like I care about the world being a better place. And bro, I really do, because I don't like killing. Bro, I don't even like when I go for runs. I didn't even like running in the rain and landing on snails. So I'm always looking on the ground to make sure I don't even land on snails. Yeah, and most people
Yeah.
don't even like. Yeah, but they have shells that are Fibonacci, so therefore I would never eat. Even spiders in my
Hey, that's a
room, I don't.
gem, people. Go look up Fibonacci. Go, keep going, keep going.
Plugs in it. So you got spiders. I didn't even kill spiders, but and spiders look creepy as fuck 90% of the time. And I'm like, live your life, bro. That's the way you were
Yeah.
made. It's calm. That being said, yeah, so all my vegan friends, yeah, that are like claiming to be like and hold this title of like, yo, I'm a humanitarian. I don't want to
It's
see
this
animals die.
moral high
Yeah,
ground, bro.
yeah. It's like, but why? Where's the energy when it comes to other countries?
Like
Like,
y'all mad? Like it's the PETA folks, yo. The PETA. You know, you ever heard of them? It's like the pet. I don't even know. It's an organization that is they do a lot of shit with animal rights. And the craziest thing to me is like you have 1,000 black babies being aborted every day, right? You got people getting killed by the cops all over the place, right? You got people that are being enslaved. You got Muslims in China that are being shipped off to camps. You got like there's so many things, but y'all want to worry about chickens? That's like I get it. Like, yeah, we gotta yeah, chickens have rights too, but look, we gotta figure out the shit for people first, right? Like, can we at least get to the people? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but to me,
nah.
I see what you're saying. It's like if you want to be, you want to say, oh, I'm this great person, I'm this humanitarian. Like, cool, but let's keep that same energy with everything, especially the things that are important. Like, let's have a little hierarchy going. Like, yeah, I love horses, I love dogs, I love animals, but a human life, let's value that. Let's at least value it so that we can stay consistent. Because some of this inconsistency is what pisses me off. Where you got folks who are it's all performance based anyway. Like people just they're in their groups and they want to look like they're good people, so they got to do whatever. And I might be going a little too off the edge right now, but that's how I feel. Like it's people out here that just want to pretend to be good. It's become better to pretend to be a good person than to actually be a good person nowadays. Like, to actually be a good person doesn't mean that you're always nice to everybody. It means that you're just a good person. But people are so obsessed with looking good, looking the
Yeah.
part, performing, that they miss out on the actual goodness part. Like, they just project. They got the smile down. They got the whatever down. They out here telling you, oh, this is what you should do. Oh, I believe in blah blah. But when that rubber hits the road, nowhere to be found. And I'm just like, all
And
right,
it's
I
and
see where
it's
you're coming
upsetting.
from.
And
Yeah,
it's because it's like yo, like, okay, so what we like, where do we progress from here? Like, what are we gonna do next?
facts.
Like, do you get it? Because it's like
Yeah, man.
because bro, like big man
I'm
thing. If Africa gets pillaged again,
gonna start
like
saying that shit. Big
if
man
it
ting.
gets, yeah,
That's a
huh?
new one. Big man ting. I'm gonna incorporate that into
Yeah,
the lexicon.
it's
My
your lingo. But yeah, seriously, big man thing, bro. If Africa gets pillaged the way it's been getting pillaged, yeah, if it
yeah.
continuously gets to that state, either and the thing is, either two things will happen. Either, God forbid, it becomes almost so little that it just becomes extinct, and then everyone's like this, like the
God
dodo.
forbid.
Yeah, God forbid, and that's a
Yeah.
horrible thing. Or what's gonna really happen, which is probably most likely gonna happen, is that people are gonna start to get so like so aware, so angrily aware, so passionately aware
Mm.
that we're gonna things gonna start centralizing back to Africa, and then people are gonna just be like, and then Africa's gonna become like like almost like the global front, like the global
Final
country.
answer. I want that.
Yeah.
Like, a third of the world's population is going to be African by 2100, according to projections. A third, billions. We talking about, and while most countries their average age is declining, or average age is inclining, I guess. Like most countries are getting older.
Yeah.
Africa is getting younger. The average age is going to be 18. So you're talking about a population of 2.5 billion, where most of them are under the age of 20. That sounds like a cultural revolution to me. You talking about arts, entertainment, sports. We got all the energy. We got all the human capital. We already know we have all the physical resources in terms of the oil and whatever that is coming out of the nation. Like, if we just get our shit together, understand the power that we have, there's no reason why Africa can't be the cultural epicenter of the world, bro. Like, we
Yeah.
already the cultural epicenter, except we just got ghettos right now, but they still steal from us. They steal our style. They steal our swag. They steal our music. They appropriate whatever the fuck they want. They make the little kente cloths. They make the patent. Like, you got top like Coach bags and motherfucking like all these people. They still steal from us, but we don't have any power to take. In the future, I pray that we begin to understand our power and we start doing some shit different. Because if we realized how powerful we were on the global stage, then Africa would be a first world country. Everyone else would be looking at us like, damn, like some Wakanda shit, yo. Like, on some real shit, we just need to get
But
like,
that's what originally happened, and that's what hurts me is that it originally happened, and somehow in the mix,
yeah.
because of globally, or no, sorry, globally, because of yeah, actually technically because of globally the way that dark melanated people tend to think, yeah, um, we allowed people to eventually start to make us the victims because we were so accessible,
I
basically.
think that's it. You just hit it on the head, yo. We are very loving people. We are very, very loving people. And I think that sometimes could be like they take our kindness for weakness. And it saddens me because that like just imagine if we had real relationship collaboration with the folk. Like, white people got their advantages too. Sure, they're better at whatever. Like, let me not even go there. I think that we all have complementary strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
strengths of white people in terms of their ability to just go and take and keep for themselves, black people, I think it's a lot more communal. There's not really a sense of I have to own you. We just want to chill and be happy. Like, we want to be cool with everybody. But that's taken advantage of, and we see it again and again and again throughout history. But eventually we just got to get buck one time, like, and just really show the world like, yo, this is what we about. And maybe like we can work together after that. But it's gonna be a bit of a struggle because I don't think these white people are gonna just give up all their power easily, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I don't know, man.
We'll
So,
see.
but what I do know, innit? I do know, and I think, yeah, it's already, yeah. So yeah, that's. I
Yeah,
guess you've kind of said it all. To be honest, I don't think there's anything else to say about that. Except for
yeah,
just, man, like, yeah. I really hope. I, 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 I you know what? And I didn't want to say my prayer because obviously I do care and I am like my spirit is there. But honestly, bro, like spiritually, I just feel my spirit is with a lot of people who are in Africa right now, but everywhere. Not only in Africa, but just everywhere. So all
yeah.
my African brothers and
I feel
sisters,
you, man.
and even dark, and even freaking uh, dark melanated Japanese people. My spirits are with those people, bro. Because
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like because yeah.
The struggle is global. The struggle is
Yeah,
global. We shall overcome. I gotta hop off in a couple minutes. So if you had anything else that you wanted to say, let's get it off on this thing real quick. You good? All
no, I
right.
think I'm.
All right, people. If you made it this far, much love to you. It's my guy Ayo. Appreciate you hopping on. We'll do this again soon. If you liked what we said, or if you didn't like what we said, feel free to comment. Um, we like having
Spin this.
conversations that are real, so we're not gonna pander. We're just gonna keep it 100. And eventually, hopefully, we get to a place where we don't have to talk about some of the crap that's going on because we've improved as a people, and that would be the day. It'd be a beautiful
That'd be
day,
the day, man.
man. All right, much love to you. Appreciate you, dog.